dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That's it for Julius Alfaro. Officials for tonight's game, Nunez, Navarro.
Welcome to Community College Soccer here on Sportsnet USA.net. It's the 3C 2A playoffs. And what we've got going on here is we're seeing what's happening now with everybody as we look at Cyprus losing earlier today. Well, they lost 1-0 to Golden West College. And of course, when you look at Northern California, well, that's sort of been settled. Sierra beat Fresno City. San Francisco beat Consumnes River. You saw Folsom Lake. They won their game 3-0, and Santa Rosa pulls off one 1-0 here all on Sportsnet USA.net. So the North is set. The South still has a couple games going on. We've got this one where Saddleback takes on Orange Coast College. Santiago is playing against Santa Barbara City right now. Long Beach City takes on Mount Sac at the same time of this game here on Sportsnet USA.net. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, happy to bring you this game today as your Saddleback Bobcats looking to continue their quest to make it to the state championships. We saw with Cyprus coming up just a little short. We'll see if the ladies here can continue. When you look at the way they played, they always now have become very accustomed to going to the state championship. So we'll see if that happens. And the way I saw it, the women's state championships, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, they're here at Saddleback College. So what better place to come is to come home for that championship game. Look at OCC first. Ortega, she's the keeper for OCC tonight. You look at her goals against, 1.08, an 811 save percentage. We'll see how she's at. Lexa Lastra will be out there along with Tess Doucette. Kenzie Marker, Jasmine Serratos, Kennedy Heimer, somebody whose voice you heard a lot about at Cypress College. Chantel Sanchez, she's the big gunner, 48 points, 18 goals, 12 assists for OCC. Grace Boyce, Maddie Valdez, and Olivia Hosteller. And Olivia's got 47 points, 16 goals, 15 assists. So that's what you'll have going here tonight on Sportsnet USA.net. In the goal for Cyprus, well, who else but Macy Pugh? You look at Macy Pugh, 0.93 goals against. She's in the pink kit to the far left of the screen. Cyprus, in their traditional gold jerseys and their maroon shorts, are going from left to right. Orange Coast in an interesting powder blue jersey with orange numbers, going from right to left on your computer screen. Cypress looking to make the play. Take it out here on the far side, so that's going to be a throw in for OCC. Both these teams won last week. That's why we have the matchups we have. Tess Doucette will throw it in. Just overshoots anybody else. Doucette trying to be that person when you look at last week, how well they played. Saddleback trying to handle it. That was Holiday. Holiday was one of the top players for your Saddleback College team in the victory last week. So Holiday was that player along with Hannah Allen that helped them pull off the victory last game to get them into this match against OCC. Remember, it's one and done. Long shot. Shot on goal, but really no threat. As Pugh will clear it out there. Macy Pugh. Good little leg. Nice kick by Macy, trying to get it down the field. Looking to go back over the middle. Takes it to the far side. Nobody's there. Put a big foot in. It's going to be off to the right. And, of course, that was Danielle Pernat who took that shot for your Bobcats. Familiar face right now, not on the field. And nobody said anything to us, so we're just saying she may come out later in the game. One of the top players here in the OEC that plays for the Bobcats. Stays with OCC, so they'll have a throw-in from the far side of the field. Cleared out easily. And that was Samantha Arce, one of the better defensive players for your Bobcat team. Stolen there by McLean. McLean trying to push off. She does, kicks it, gets blocked away. McLean takes the real first threat for Saddleback on that play. So McLean comes up big, puts the foot in the ball, up for the upper right-hand corner, just a little off, and a nice save made there by Samantha Ortega. Kennedy Heimer will throw it in for OCC. Long throw-in. Kennedy is their top throw-in person. Ed Ford and I watched her when OCC was over. Headshot, get away, finally getting off. So a miscontrolled save by Pugh, and OCC almost takes advantage of it. You see right there, OCC's on top of the keeper who had no control of the ball. You don't get the back off if you're an offensive player. So little nerves involved in this first half. Heimer again will throw it in. And Ed and I had a great conversation over at Cypress when Heimer throws it in, because she skirts this. Understand something, for it to be an illegal throw in, your foot has to be all the way inside the line. She will let go of that ball when her heel is on the line. Deep throw in into the box and cleared out by Saddleback, trying to make a move. Saddleback looking for something. They're on the run now. once again, looking to go into the middle of the field. They bring it over to the far side here now. Goes back, and it's a foot race. And just taken up and out. And that's the best thing to do if you're going to do it. By Carissa Franco, who just says, let's not play with it. Let's just take it out, control it that way. Heimer goes from the opposite side of the field. And you can watch her foot right there, right on the line. Big throw and into the box. A header. Got to get it cleared out if you're the Bobcats looking to get a break against OCC. The Orange Coast Pirates. And Saddleback makes the turn, and not being able to control herself. When you're out there, you've got to get that footing down to be able to set those feet. Little stumble. Gets away from Saddleback right there. Again. Give and go out. You can hear the parents trying to encourage over here. So one of the few times that Heimer doesn't throw it in. Pernat here to the far side as they make the drive up the middle, trying to get it off the foot with McKenna Pugh. Cross, save, down, cleared. Beautiful save by Orange Coast, as Pugh thought she had a foot in the right spot. McKenna Pugh thought she had something going. She's got 20 points this season, 9 goals and 2 assists for your Bobcats, who in conference were 10-1-3 overall, 16-2-3 for the season, an .833 winning percentage. And once again, they take the crown here in the OEC. Pullman flips it over, tries to flip the field for your Bobcats. Just the center of field's playing a little ping pong with everybody out there. Trapped and kicked by Maddie Valdez for OCC. So Maddie hasn't come off her foot. And again, an easy little grab for Samantha Ortega, who will slow things down just a little. Ortega with the big foot for this OCC team is Heimer battling on the far side of the field. Quickly throws it in for the Pirates. Pirates looking for a little help. Dancing with that was Doucette. Ball comes back out. Go back to Heimer on the far side. Kennedy makes a move. Nobody's there. Kennedy goes to the box with the ball, but there's nobody for the Pirates there to help her out. Try and cross it, but the defense comes up quickly for Saddleback. Heimer off Pugh and kicked up and out. And again, when you talk about defense, that's what you have to do. You can watch it here, just kicked away. And a wonderful play right there by Danielle Pernat, excuse me. Scrum in the box. We're going to get offsides. And then a push by OCC. So Macy Pugh tested this time down. Macy gets it to midfield. taken there and controlled by Milana McLean. Looking to go in the middle. Pugh off her foot, goes back. Easy pickup for OCC. No real threat on that one. Samantha Ortega thanks us and says, hey, make it easy out here. Tess Doucette puts it back in the middle of the field for OCC. That down went to Olivia. Olivia has it come off her foot. So it looked like OCC, Orange Coast, was going to substitute. You could hear the referee go, I'll get you next time. Sort of like going out to dinner with friends. I'll get the check next time. And again, if you can't play strong defense, well, be like Kaya Biller, who just says, I'll kick it out and make them throw it back in and start all over. And this is where the substitutions will come in. Doucette's going to throw in for Orange Coast. Goes off. Will it stay? Does stay. So Tess comes down to throw it in again. Try to get it back to Doucette. They can't. Clear it out, trying to make the run. Nice little stop there and trap by McLean. McLean looking for somebody to help her. OCC comes and takes the action away, but turn there. Let it go through. Back to the middle. Just need to turn, foot down. Can't get away. And you went back to the middle. That was a nice play by Pernat, but there was nobody that could actually make a shot when she made her pass. Ball up and down. Taken there again. Stepping up was Danielle. You can hear the crowd now trying to have everybody stay with the crowd's great turnout from the people over on the far side of the field with Orange Coast College. Hoping that their team can maybe pull off that victory, and we're not going to call it an upset in the Cypress game against Golden West College. A surprising win for Golden West College, as a very prolific offensive team just could not get it going today against them. They got that one goal, and that was enough. Quick little throw in. That over to Pugh. That's McKenna Pugh, not Macy. Macy's in the goal. McKenna tries to make a turn on it. Doesn't. And again, what do? You take it back or you take it up and out. But you've got to clear it from the field. And Saddleback, looking to make a play, just has not been able to get any offense going. Can hear when people are saying, put it in the middle. Nice step up, little push. Throw it out to the side again. When you keep it away, you've got to keep it away from those top scorers, and that was Chantel Jasmine, who thought for a second she had a break against Saddleback. Doesn't. Maddie Valdez had the ball, trots on the field. Kennedy Heimer will throw it in for Orange Coast College. Deep throw into the box. Take it up, but not taken out at all, as OCC Doucette had stopped it. Go back in the middle. And not a shot on goal, but a wise stop by Macy Pugh on that one. Just take control of the ball like she did so that Orange Coast College doesn't get that flow going. Goes out on the far side of the field. Well, a couple good shots, but nothing really too exciting so far in this first half. We've played 16 minutes, and I'll say 2 saves on either side for both these teams. The winner of this match will be the opponent of Golden West College. If Saddleback wins, it will definitely be here at home at Saddleback. Golden West College was a 12 seed. And OCC is an 8 seed. So OCC would get, if it was Golden West College and Orange Coast, they would get the home field advantage. Trapped and cleared out. You watch the move right there by Chantel Sanchez. Gets cleared out. And so the offsides was called for going over and back. So we're waiting for, and we do get a substitution for Saddleback. So in for Saddleback is Avery Doherty. She's to the near side of the field. So again, you can watch BJ because he will put in multitude of substitutions during the game, trying to change the attitude, the players. Doherty tries to go to it, can't get to it. And everybody from Saddleback watches the ball as it basically dances its way down the field. Off the knee, getting in the air, trying to find it again, and no clear shot so far as we look at deep. Sanchez now, watch as she'll dribble it off. A little shove from behind, no call. And again, you look at the play that's going up there, and you can hear everybody talking about it. And the other one that you watch, who was dancing with the ball all the time, Hostetler. You look at Olivia, she's got 47 points. You're watching her walk back in towards the goal. Sanchez on the other side. The two of them between them have 95 points. So that's why you see while they'll touch the ball so often for Orange Coast. And you can hear the crowd getting very excited because you've got to play that physical soccer, and that's what you get excited about when a player steps up and goes, I'll throw my body at you. You know, you give a little shove in the back. Nobody says anything about it. And again, Avery Doherty is the one that does that. Pernat will throw it in. See if Orange Coast will run a play here. Sanchez trying to take it. She keeps it in. Watch her go around one player. Missed there. Shot back to the middle. Defense steps up for the Bobcats. Little spin on the ball. Take it up. There's nobody there for Saddleback to help out on the play. But again, this is what you're watching from your Bobcats tonight, making sure that they can defend as Maddie Valdez gets ready to throw it in on the near side of the field for those Bobcats. Maddie with 8 points this season. He's got a couple of goals, or a few, I should say a few, because she's got 3. Nice off the foot on the far side. First time we've seen something that looks like a slick little play. In front, not in time. Shot again. And that could go be a corner. It will be a corner. As you make the crash down in the middle, goalie can't control it. So we'll have a corner kick, and that's going to be Holiday taking that. Holiday with 25 points this season, 9 goals, 7 assists. And these were the players that came up big last time Saddleback played. Short kick off the side of the foot. Set play by your Bobcats. Didn't quite work the way they wanted it to. We played 24 minutes in this first half. I'm just rushing the clock a little. 0-0. Orange Coast College against Saddleback here on Sportsnet USA.net. So Saddleback got here by beating San Bernardino Valley last week. 3-0. Golden West got here by taking on Canyons, beating them 1-0. So back-to-back shutouts for this Orange Coast College team. Both 1-0 games, and that's what's got them in this match tonight. Stingy on the defensive side. Sanchez in the middle. Drops it into an empty zone. Saddleback comes up with it, makes the turn on the far side of the field, looking for a cross. Can't get the cross they wanted. And we're going to get a whistle. And we'll stop play and then drop the ball right about at the 10-yard line. And a free kick as everybody moves back. Taken down. Somebody wants a foul. They finally get it. And that's your Bobcats sort of screaming on the sideline saying, excuse me, blow the whistle. BJ, another award as Coach of the Year, did a fantastic job. If you watch this team at the beginning of the season, you almost would say, I'm not quite sure. Maybe not as good in the past. I had conversations with my friends that call soccer, and that's what our discussion was. They have grown with the coaching of this Saddleback staff that has just groomed this team into another team that many of us believe is going to win the state title. But the Pirates have decided, no, we've got something to say about this. Cleared away. Off the body for a Bobcat on the far side of the field. So that should be a throw in for the Pirates. And again, I will say one of the more skilled teams in throwing, at least they've got a specialist throwing the ball in from the side. Great depth and understanding the fundamentals. Going forward, they're going to take it back just a little, reset things for themselves. Off the side of the foot. Easy little shot, picked up there. Down to the corner. Orange Coast looking just to let it roll out. It'll stick with them. So 1 or 2. Samantha Arce came up, tried to take that one away. Taken away by Holiday in the middle of the field for your Bobcats. Stretch the field just enough. Again, Orange Coast in the right place at the right time. Sanchez, who can distribute and score, loses that one off her foot. Bobcats laid into a no-man place, no woman place, and nobody picks it up. It's only for one person. So there isn't that fluidity that we have seen from your Bobcats this season. You know, it's like when you put that inexpensive gasoline in your car and it sort of shakes a little. That's what's happening with the team. So, Doherty's going to go off on the far side of the field. So again, BJ looking for a little something. Pernat throws it again, tries to go deep in the box. Defenders there for OCC, and they're going to turn it. Sanchez all over the field. Chantel is one of these players that is a box-to-box player. You'll see her on the defense. You'll see her on the offense. She controls the shots well as Milana McLean is back in the game again for your Bobcats. Holiday, Allen, Arce, McLean, Franco, Biller, Pernat, Pullman, McKenna Pugh, Macy Pugh. That's who started this, and it looks like BJ's going to run with that most of this first half. So those are the Bobcats on the field right now for your team. And that's where you really get the nice fight down there. As Tess Doucette said to Milana McLean, you know what? We can play physical, we can play finesse, but at the end of the day, it's who controls the soccer ball. And I wonder sometimes if it gets personal out there. I mean, we know everybody talks in sports. We're not down at the field. We have been. And we get to see it get pretty feisty on the soccer field. So besides the physicality, I'm sure there's a few words being said to people. McLean. Almost a same goal. And this is where, Ed, you sit there and you watch right there, and it goes off the goalie because you were trying to take the ball back to your player and then realize she's coming out, I'm driving towards you, and that would have been a true mistake by OCC here in the first half. 14:24 to go. 31 minutes. We're going to get a corner. And we saw last time out that they had a play. Once again, they go with a play across the middle. They get a turn. Ball comes out. And this is where the race is on. Defenders come back. OCC follows. They miss it. Headed out deeply. Goes out. Nice play by McLean. She controls it. Goes back to her. It's a foot race down the right side. She takes it towards the goal. No shot on goal. Just an easy little roller towards the net. So we won't count that a shot on goal. Unofficially, 1-1 in this game. Unofficially. And you can see the feel in the middle. Crossing shot. McLean trying to come on down. Nice idea. Just did not work for Milana McLean, the freshman out of Orange Lutheran High School. So we're going to see a couple substitutions. And that looks like Alina Ali is now in the game for Saddleback. And as soon as I mentioned her name, she gets her foot on the ball. And Alina just has a little jump. Ed, the thing that's very interested is Saeed, the best player offensively for this Bobcat team, is not on the field, has not been on the field. And the only thing we can imagine is that after the last game, maybe something happened. And so we don't go inquiring. If a coach wants to let us know, we will definitely talk to him. So McLean comes off. Out there for a few seconds. And now Saddleback switching out really quickly because Avery Doherty is back in the game for Saddleback. So that main cog that can play physical, can pass the ball well when you look at what you're giving up. 29 points, 11 goals, 7 assists. From a playmaker who likes to play physical soccer. It's hard to replace that individual when they're not on the field, and especially at this time of year when you see what happened. I mean, you look at Orange Coast goals for 2.39, Saddleback 2.38. From an offensive side, they're an even team. When you talk about what they can do. Goals against, Saddleback 0.91. Orange Coast 1.19. Those are combined goals against for all the tenders on there. Not much of a difference when you look at it. 17/100ths of a point is the difference between defensively the one team to the other team. The big difference is that Saddleback has multiple scores. Orange Coast has primarily two big gunners on their team. And when you look at losing your more prolific scorer, yeah, the field could be tilted just a little in the Pirates' favor because they haven't lost their scores, but the defense has been outrageous for Saddleback, to say the least. Nice little jostling going up there, and that's the thing that you like, as Morgan Pullman doesn't mind mixing it up. Morgan's there trying to keep it in. She does. Nice play by Morgan. Comes to the edge, going to go out, and it's going to stay with OCC. We should get a substitution. And if she throws the ball in, which I think she will, well, that's Ed Ford's favorite person, Kennedy Heimer. Nice style with throwing the ball in. She gets a nice arc over her head and then uses that motion. So if you're a football quarterback, you stride into it. She does that with both arms moving forward to get the depth in her throw-ins. We're into the single digits still in this first half. We're sitting at 0. Cyprus, same thing going. Shot, not close. Cyprus lost 1-0. What are the teams I picked to win or be in the finals for the state championship? The other one I picked, knotted at 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. This coming Saturday, Saddleback football at 1 o'clock here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Matt, Corey, and Ryan will be calling the action on that one against Mount Sac, who made the playoffs and moved on. Beat El Camino last week. And of course, I guess you'd have to say we're all homers, but not really, because we like talking sports. To the other two individuals I talked to, should be a very good game this coming Saturday. And if you're a Saddleback fan, you want to make sure you're here so you can watch your team move on to the Southern California Championship. So did I put Ryan and Corey on the line there when I said that? I mean, those are the two I was talking to. So when you show up next Saturday, find Ryan and Corey and say, hey, you picked whom? And they will explain to you. Make sure you show up 2 hours early, because it will take about that long for their explanation, because they will tell you every facet of the game, as two excellent fans should, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Saddleback looking for some magic here in the last 5 minutes of this first half. It'll be a goal kick as it rolls out the length of the field. Should be no stoppage time, but in saying that, I think I've sort of jinxed us the last two games. Albert agrees with that one. Albert Robles says, yeah, I'll agree to that. Speaking of Albert Robles, don't forget Husky Sports East LA College basketball season with Albert Robles. Check the homepage at sportsnetusa.net to find out when their next basketball games are coming up, so you can catch Albert on the air. Off the side of the foot. Can it get saved? It does. And more or less being saved so it doesn't go back to Saddleback. That's the reason you go out there and you do that. You don't want to give up a corner with 4:30 to go here in the first half, because this looks like this is going to come down to the second 45. We'll see in saying that if a little magic doesn't happen for someone. Up in the corner. Oh, taken out of the air. And as soon as I said that, Ed Ford, I thought, look at that. I called it. Samantha Ortega goes up right here. And if she's a half an inch shorter, your Bobcats are up 1-0. Excellent save by Ortega for the Pirates. Kenny Heimer crosses it, tries to get somebody crashing across the middle for the Pirates. Has it again. She's going to try it one more time. Lay it out there, and everybody's going to let it roll till it gets picked up easily by Macy Pugh. Take it again. Heimer looks at it. Pugh has it knock off her hands. That will be a corner for the Pirates with 3 minutes to go in this first half. 0-0. As one of the Southern games was resolved earlier today, Cypress and Golden West. We'll check around and see if we can get the scores at halftime for the other two besides this one. Corner comes up. Big in the middle. Kicked out. Headed again. Up and out. Want to get it out of the middle is what you want to do when you're doing that. Nice play by Doucette. Tess. They take it again. Stopped again. Trying to control it in the middle, and that's what you do if you're Holiday. She did that for a second. It comes back off the foot. That's Chantel. Shot on goal, but not much behind it. So you watch Chantel Sanchez out of Fountain Valley High School making the turn, the freshman who's had an incredible season this year for Orange Coast. Gonna corner it out, take it to the sidelines, and again, you look with 1:40 to go. You don't want to make any mistakes if you're somebody, because you don't want to go in at halftime now feeling that pressure of 45 minutes. You're still going to feel it anyway if you're sitting all tied up at 0. Up in the air, should get trapped. Nice little play right there by Ali Alina. Makes a good play. Off the foot. Go back and get it. It's going to go out. And they say that stays. You know what? Boy, I'm not really sure on that one. Even Albert Robles says, I don't know. That was a little shaky, because I actually thought that was going to go to Saddleback. I thought Pernat had that one. Evlo had it off her foot for your Bobcats. And you watch as the ball goes out, you just want to get it into the middle. If you're OCC, that's Olivia trying to get it to her partner. Up and out if you could be any smaller on a play, I got to say, you've got to look at what was done right there by Macy Pugh. Look at that, Ed. She backed up as far as she could. She got her hand on it and flipped it out. You know what? She used every 5'6" to save that. That's why Macy is one of the best here in California with a goals against of 0.93. Again, Macy Pugh in the right spot. And it's another one. Watch this hand-eye coordination. Goes up with the right hand, just waiting. You know, if you ever put that little toy mouse in front of a cat and it gets ready to pounce, she's got the quickness of a cat. And if you're OCC, you can taste a goal right about now. Because the running mate for Chantel has done it. But that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, it's the Pirates 0, the Bobcats 0, here on Sportsnet USA.net. What a first half this was. I tell you what, back and forth, people just holding their ground and playing what they wanted to do. And, of course, you know, Ed Ford will be on the air with me in just a second. As we said, the Orange Empire play, Santiago Canyon is up over Santa Barbara. Is that a final? I think it might be. I think that's a final, Corey Nalen. Thank you. The co-MVP of the year, and I bring this up, Ed, Saeed of Saddleback is now playing. Chantel Sanchez of Orange Coast, who was a co-MVP, is here. And of course, Albert just showed us that note from Corey Nalen about Santiago Canyon pitching a 1-0 shutout. Well, Karen Pedraza is probably the reason of that one, because Pedraza was the defensive MVP of the OEC this season out of Santiago Canyon. And, of course, B.J. McNichol, Coach of the Year when you look at it. For Saddleback, Holiday, Allen, Franco, Arce were on the team. Jimenez was also there for Santiago Canyon. For Orange Coast, it's Marker, Serratos, and, of course, De La Torre. And what do we got here? It's a final, Ed. So Santiago Canyon on the other side of the bracket is moving on. So the OEC teams have done well today, with one getting beat by another OEC team.
Little surprised at the Santiago score, because that game was supposed to be starting at about the same time this one did, or even later. And I wasn't even sure they have lights at Santiago Canyon, but they do on the soccer field.
Yeah.
And then on the softball field.
Yeah,
I guess
one of the few.
They ran out of money, so they go.
Yeah, one of the few.
Doesn't need them. So Santiago Canyon will be facing the winner of Long Beach and Mount Sac.
Yeah.
And that game is at Long Beach.
Yeah, that's
and it
no score. I'm a little surprised on that one. So I'm going to turn to Ed, and I'm going to give Ed. Oh, you've got him up in front of you, because Ed, you follow a lot of the Northern California teams, as you see Golden West College beating Cypress. But when you look at the Northern California teams playing soccer, any surprises up there?
No, not really. Evergreen Valley, Folsom Lake. Evergreen Valley is a very good team, but Folsom Lake is the defending champions, and they always is probably the wrong word, but in the last 2 to 3 years, they are a team that travels to the state finals. So they look like they want to get back again. Fresno City, Sierra. Sierra wins that one, Mark, and we were talking before the game. You know, the OEC has 4 teams left in the 5 teams left in the playoffs, or did have 5 teams.
Did have 5, right?
5 teams coming into today's play. Up north, you have a similar situation where you have a dominance of the Big 8 teams. So Sierra, Big 8 team, they shut out Fresno. They advance. Santa Rosa, Big 8 team, 1-0 over Hartnell, another Big 8 team. Cosumnes River loses to San Francisco. That kind of spoils things for the Big 8. That score was 3-0. But then we did mention Folsom Lake wins by a score of 3-0. So the Big 8 has 3 in there, and we'll see how many they can get into the final. Probably they'll look at something like, it might just be 2 OEC teams against 2 Big 8 teams.
I was just going to ask you that.
I'm pretty sure that, we're going to make some predictions. Anything can happen because today Golden West beats Cypress, and a lot of people wouldn't think that would happen. I didn't think it was going to happen.
No, either did I.
I
no.
think there was a better chance of Orange Coast beating Saddleback here because
they've already done it.
Yeah, they've already done it, and as you went over the stats, the goals per game stats are so close. I mean, we're talking decimal points difference.
Exactly.
And all those stats are so close that, and how many goals they've scored per game. So those teams are really close. Nothing against Golden West, but Cypress has been nationally in the state and in the top 5 most of the year.
Yes.
So you would expect that they would win. We've seen them play lots of times. They have a lot of speed, a lot of offense, but Golden West did something today that to kind of slow that offense down, or had some different plays that just didn't happen for the Chargers.
Yeah, and I mean, that happens in the game of soccer all the time. You look on the men's side earlier, there were a lot of teams that everybody thought they could move on, and then they walked into buzzsaws. And, the Cypress men's team, they were playing even with Oxnard on the men's side in their last match. They tie up the game 7 seconds later. Oxnard scores, and they end up winning the game. So, I mean, it's that strange of the game of soccer.
Yeah. And Oxnard, the number 1 seed in Southern California. So they played really tough against a team that supposedly is the best team, and they were the top team in the power rankings. Here's a little bit of an upset in men's soccer up north. Hartnell, the men make up for the women's loss. They shut out West Valley by a score of 1-0. Oxnard beats Mount Sac by a score of 1-0. Santa Barbara and Miracosta all tied up. They went into overtime. That didn't resolve things, so it went down to penalty kicks, and Santa Barbara City College wins. Miracosta, good men's and women's team. Both have made a run at things, but didn't quite happen. Fresno and Santa Rosa 0-0, and who advances on the penalty kicks, Mark? Fresno?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had to eliminate both teams.
Oh,
sorry. You play that long, you can't score. There are other teams in here that can score. You're out. Yeah, I'm real popular with those. Kenyatta over Skyline. Skyline has a good men's program. Kenyatta 3-0 there. And L.A. City College.
That's huge.
That is huge. Cuyamaca, one of the premier men's soccer programs. I mean, they've got some good things going down there in the men's soccer program. They usually advance deep into the playoffs. And Los Angeles City College, I was kind of questioning them playing Pasadena, a team in their own conference to start off with. I didn't think that was a particularly good idea because, if you beat them twice in the conference, home and away, after a while, those things normally, then they're going to take the third one, but that's not the case. And L.A. City wins once again on penalty kicks. They just must be fantastic goalie and people who can kick. Cerritos College, a in the past one of the best
Yeah, they were
men's
dominant.
soccer teams for a long time. And as Mark just said, dominant. They were a dominant team. Go back and look at the history, the archives, and see how many times that Cerritos men's soccer team would win. They get by beating somebody from their own conference, from the South Coast Conference. They beat Long Beach 3-3. Once again, overtime on penalty kicks. I mean, is everything on overtime on penalty kicks today in the men's side? It looks like that. We still have Cabrillo and Evergreen Valley. And no score on that one because I guess cell phones aren't allowed there.
Or the pigeon, like you said, more than one. That's the wilderness. So, I mean, a wolf could have jumped out and
That's true.
eaten the
And let's see,
scorekeeper.
I think that game is at Evergreen Valley, and we've talked about their field before. It's out, it's like a clearing in the forest. It's really a nice-looking field. So we're going to have to give them a break because, hey, they have such a nice field.
Could be Twilight Zone, too. Everybody
Could be
disappeared.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
And as Mark said, we've got more games coming up on sportsnetusa.net. We've got East LA Huskies basketball, men and women games coming up. Albert had a game where the Huskies men were playing against Compton. I was watching for a while, and Compton had a pretty good sized lead. I figured, oh gosh, I don't know how are the Huskies going to get upset here? Not that Compton's a bad basketball team. So I clicked it off, and then I go back in at the end of the game. What the heck happened here? And the Huskies score, triple digits to beat Compton. So the ELAC men are just pretty fantastic. You talk about a dominant team that goes to the playoffs all the time. So, and then we do have football for you. We'll have the semifinals of the Southern California Football Association with Mount Sac against your Saddleback Bobcats, and that's going to be quite a contest.
Yeah, I really think on that game, I mean, like I said, Ryan and Corey will be here. All three of us have talked about it. It's interesting, because Ryan's been with you all year down here, Ed. When I talk to people at the beginning of the football season, nobody expected too much football-wise. When they lost to Fullerton, nobody expected too much. And then it's like magic happened, and they became fantastic. Of course, when you speak of Mount Sac, I got to go to another sport, though, that happened right now. Mount Sac just won their third consecutive state title in the world of wrestling.
That's right. You talk about dominant. They are one of the real big boys in wrestling, along with ELAC's pretty good, and so is Cerritos. Cerritos has a good women's program. So, yeah, Mount Sac, I think that's isn't that back-to-back championships for them? Or
Yeah.
it might even be back-to-back-to-back.
It's back-to-back-to-back, yeah.
3 years in a row. Also, don't forget, if you're a Saddleback fan, we certainly hope you are, because what else would you be watching? Well, you could be an OCC fan. Saddleback women's basketball is underway. They've already started. They're 5-2, but they've won 3 in a row. So, hey, go on to the Saddleback website, the athletics page. Take a look at when the Saddleback basketball is going to be playing again, and come on out to a home game. Same thing for the men.
And Corey, I'm sure you looked, but Coach B is undefeated so far early in the season at Cypress College. Just throwing that at you. She's got the team rolling.
So the OCC will have another good run of teams there. I mean, everybody's still in things. I mean, Riverside and Fullerton are down towards the bottom in win-losses, but it's a long season, and Fullerton is at 500, and Riverside is just 1 game under. So that will be another battle.
And of course, as this year starts to end, don't forget, right around the corner will be that softball season. We should be back over at Cypress College this coming year, seeing what Brad Pickler might do on his, well, I would say soon to be completed new field, but soon, as far as Brad and I are, soon means when I wake up in the morning, it's done, because I might not be here the day after.
Well,
So-
I thought we weren't supposed to talk about that anymore.
Oh, well.
Oh, wait. We're not
We're
on
not
the,
there.
We're
We're
not
not
on the
at
Cypress
Cypress.
stream.
Yeah,
so
we're
it
at
doesn't matter.
Saddleback.
We can say all sorts of things.
Wes can come find me when I'm out there. So,
If
which he will.
If he's waiting in the parking lot for you
That's it.
when you come out.
I'm going to shove Corey in front of me.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Too bad about your tires. They're all flat.
Yeah. It's like, okay,
But,
thanks, Wes.
And we hope to do some Saddleback
Softball.
too. I
Yeah.
mean, we did the playoff game last year. That was one of the, three of us were there, and that was just a fast game. What was it, over in under 2 hours, and plenty of
yeah.
action.
And you got to love their facility.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful field,
Lights.
lights. I mean, they did everything right, almost.
Yeah, almost. They will, though. Their team,
Yeah,
will, they've
they're-
got it. They got a
they're gonna
talented
iron
team.
out the little
Bugs.
wrinkles in the field and the supporting stuff, and it's a great place to come out and watch some softball. It's nice to see that they went through a coaching change and they built a new field, and it's helped bring in additional young women who want to play at Saddleback. And there's so many athletes, no matter what sport they are, that if they're going to go the JUCO route, this is a great place to come and play softball or football or soccer or whatever, volleyball, whatever the sport may be. So
Yeah,
I have to tip my hat for them to build such a nice softball field. And the field that it replaced, it was a nice field.
It was a nice field,
nice
too.
grass field.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like they were playing on some dirt track or something.
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. I can remember in the old days, and Corey, I hope you're still there. I look at this field, and I know you guys are going to be here this coming Saturday for little Mount Sac Saddleback football. I told the kids the story about when we came out here when it was raining. This wasn't this pretty. There was a football field, and there was lots of mud over here. I think Corey put his name in the mud, and if you dig deep enough, you can find it.
Yeah, things have changed a lot since then, and now
Look at the school. Yeah, they've done a
Bobcats
beautiful job.
have a really nice football facility. Very nice softball facility also. Baseball's nice, and
It is. They're gonna redo it.
They're going to redo that, and things are just going to keep improving here. And hopefully some of the other schools will take notice that have
Lights-
the funds to do
lights
it
help.
and do it. Yeah, and lights also help. So
As the women step back on the field, well, we got 45 minutes, and Ed's already brought it up. On the men's side, PKs, 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 PKs. I'm not a big fan of penalty kicks to resolve a game, but if that's what happens, if you're a Saddleback fan, you've got to hope that your team steps up big in the second half and just finds some magic. And if you're a Pirate fan, well, you can look and say to those two top players that you've got on the offensive side, this is the time we need to make our move. Sanchez needs to get her 19th goal if you're a Pirate fan. But for us up in the booth, we're looking at that team in the yellow and maroon shorts. That's the team worth looking to see at the end of the night, walking away with a victory. Saddleback's going from right to left on your computer screen. OCC's going from left to right on the computer screen. Kennyheimer tries to chase it down. It goes out. It'll be a goal kick for Saddleback.
And I think the direction that the Bobcats are going in this second half is seems to be very favorable to them. They do seem to score goals when they're going to the, I guess that would be north.
Yeah, because San Diego's that way. I hope.
Well, if you get mixed up,
Look for the North Star.
yeah, look for the North Star. You know, men don't ask for directions, so
Well, that's true.
we just keep going forward.
Like Corey said, hey, do you want me to stop or do you just want me to drive? I usually just tell him, keep driving. And you can be very grateful that Macy Pugh is actually 5'6". Of course, if we walk up next to her, she's probably closer to, but she used all 5'6" of her frame to make 3 incredible saves in that first half to keep you here at 0-0 on SportsNetUSA.net. You know what I like, though, Albert, Ed? Game comes to an end, our scoreboard had 0. Albert was looking at the scoreboard here at Saddleback going, wait a minute, there's a minute 47. I saw you look at the scoreboard and go, what, the guy wants to get out of here early? See, accuracy.
Well, in the first half, we started our clock right at the whistle. We were a little bit off. I guess there was a little bit of stoppage time for something.
Might have been, but we were close. We'll take close. The women from Saddleback, well, it's close right now, and they need to find some magic on this field. We have not seen their player of the year on the field tonight. And, of course, that goes on, you know, for a multitude of reasons, so we'll just leave it there. It's going to slide out, and that should be a throw-in.
And Mark, for about 8 minutes in the first half, from about the 11-minute mark down to about 3, maybe 4, Saddleback they were in the offensive half of the field the whole time. Orange Coast wasn't getting anything past them. But then things changed, and Orange Coast had those goal kicks, that shots on goal that didn't happen. I think one thing that I've noticed is that you were talking about how close they are with stats between the two teams. I think the foot speed is also just about equal.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you, Ed.
Saddleback is not running past OCC like they do so many other teams.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that, because you still look at the speed out there. I mean, I'm looking at Holiday and Allen, who were the big two that came up last week. Then you got McLean when she's out there. And then when you flip it, I mean, the 2 stars for Chantel Sanchez, who was co-MVP for the OEC, has excellent foot speed, all alone in the middle. Easy little play on a shot on goal. Yeah, we'll call it a shot on goal. But again, nobody's getting at that overall attack either on either tender out here. I mean, Macy made some really, really nice saves at the end of the first half. Ortega made a couple for herself for Orange Coast, but there hasn't been a real, I don't know, could you say these sustained threats in the first half? Pass was there off the foot, and if you're looking for it, you've got to keep going until somebody blows a whistle or says, hey, you're offsides or anything else. Taken back up the middle. That was by Larkin, so Elizabeth Larkin is on the field now. Again, there's one. Player goes down. No whistle blown. And the fans are wondering why you don't get a foul. And, of course, the referee really hasn't called much tonight in this match.
But as you were alluding to earlier, Mark, you keep playing until you hear that whistle blow. Don't you know, the player gets knocked down, and maybe that should be a foul, but you keep playing.
Yeah, and that's what you've seen from both teams here, as they are getting a little more physical. And again, I'm wondering where the offense is going to come from the Bobcat bench. We'll see who can, maybe find something out there.
Well, like you were saying, either something happens or we go into penalty kick time, just like so many teams have today in 3C 2A soccer, men's and women.
Tega puts a foot on it. Kept. And again, got to beat people to the ball. A little kick to the back of the leg, nothing called. Allen takes to the far side of the field. Ali tries to make a move over there. So we're going to get a corner for your Bobcats. One of few that we have seen tonight. Holiday comes down low along with Milana McLean. Following up right behind her is Danielle Pernat. We'll keep our eye on those three. They go out high. Now go down deep and low. And so a couple set plays by BJ Ed, not their traditional kicking that corner and letting everybody fight for it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that that's what they were going to do, try for a header shot, but not that time.
Yeah, he's come up with some very set plays and they've worked. Once again, Bobcats have it. Nice little dance and turn right there by McKenna Pugh, Macy's sister. Now the rush is on for the Pirates. Haven't been on the offensive side of the field that often. And who comes away with it? McLean almost has it. Comes off her foot. She tries to track it down from behind. As Orange Coast makes a move into the middle. Got to fight off the ball. There's two of them. Take it up and out when in doubt is what you do. So that's what you do on the far side of the field as Alexi Evlo back over there on the far side of the field. Samantha Arce with her. And you look at Samantha, people could look at Samantha's numbers and say, well, she doesn't have any points and everything. She's a defensive player that knows how to play the game. Came out of Los Alamitos High School and has been solid all season long for this Bobcat team. Big throw in, deep. Turn, get it upfield. You got to turn and run with it. And when you're going to run with it with Saddleback, you've got to make sure Macy Pugh is faced the right direction so it's an attacking. I mean, a lot of soccer players will face the ball so they can see it. Foot on the ball, nobody manning up. Now you've got to go get the ball, get it cleared out. Once again, over, off the torso, and it will stay with. And I'm sure there are people down there now saying, wait a minute, when it hits the torso, it hits the arm. Talk to enough referees about if it's going to catch the upper arm or anything else, they're not going to call it. As long as the arms are tucked into the body, they don't call it. Kenny Heimer, big throw in. Goes out, though, because nobody from OCC can connect. We played about 11 minutes, which means 56 altogether, sitting here at 0.
And, Mark, there was another inversion, arm ball, torso ball, just a couple minutes prior to that one. So, like you said, the referees aren't going to call that because it really isn't that influential.
And this is too, Ed, if you watch the precision of passing tonight, we've seen the ladies from Saddleback College be much crisper with their passes. But let me give a little love to Orange Coast, because if you're hanging around on somebody's hip, it makes it difficult to be crisp with a pass. Across the middle, in the box, almost there. Collision down low. Watch the pass. You're going to hit almost the corner, cross it over, follow it through, and just there, McLean comes up just a little short. Milana was there out of Orange Lutheran High School. Once again, Bobcats on an attack. See if they get something. There's a drop to McLean. McLean looks, is going to go off phone. Should be a corner for your Bobcats.
So let's see what BJ has in mind this time, Mark. Is he going to go high, or is he going to go right in there in the throat of the goal and let somebody head it in?
You know, a lot of the coaches will tell me it all depends if the person kicking the corner kick is consistent, where they can land the ball. In the middle. Got to go up. Ball is down. Stays alive. Here he comes from the corner. That should be another corner. It is. And here's what you like. You kick the corner shot. You run on in. You don't watch your fellow players. The ball comes back in your direction. You get a foot on it. You bounce it off a Pirate and actually run over the Pirate at the same time and get another corner. They go with the set play. Now you go with that. And this is where you pull out the defense as they scrum for it down in the corner, kick it back out for the Bobcats. Up to the top of the hill, and that was the Evlo. Corner, off the body on that turn, and now you need to get back. Everybody's looking to mark a player coming up the field, and this is that foot race that if you think you're going to be in, you're going to turn it in and then take it up. And that's okay that you kick it out there. I have no problem with Hannah Allen take the ball out for the Bobcats.
Yeah, it goes out at midfield, so it doesn't really hurt you. And let's see the throw in here.
There's Kennedy, Heimer. Ed and I have talked about her numerous times in this game tonight.
I think that's the way she's probably always thrown in the ball. And she does get good distance. She isn't breaking the rules, so why change what a player does if they're successful at what they're doing? But you notice, BJ has a different philosophy. Everybody sort of parallels the line when they throw it in.
Yeah, you look at Kennedy, 5'5". Watch her foot. This time inside the line, so she was well safe on throwing that. Hook shot in the middle, lay out flat. Well, if you've got to say anybody's being a star in this game, watch this. When you watch it, she comes across. She makes sure she doesn't let it bounce, and she makes the save. Both goalies in tonight's encounter with either team have come up big.
Well, Mark, you mentioned the goals per game was so close between the two teams. And as you also point out, that was all the goalkeepers. Mm-hmm. Today, the two teams have their best goalkeepers in.
Yeah. Oh, exactly.
And good defense there by Orange Coast.
Yeah, and you really want to make it when you're making a run up the field and you see that confrontation coming, just like Lexi Evlo saw. You want to maybe force the issue and either just crash into someone and see if the referee allows you to play that sort of soccer. And if they blow a whistle on you, worst thing that happens, they stop the play, set the ball, and they restart it with a quick kick. Got some Orange Coast people down below me. I can hear somebody yelling, "Let's go Pirates." Again, off the side of the foot. This is where you now have to find a place to go. Oh, what a pass. And it's another corner.
Yeah, and that one goes in favor of Saddleback, Mark.
Yeah. So Lena Ali makes an incredible pass. In doing so, that gives them an opportunity for a corner. They don't bring everybody down. Back of the box. Bigfoot, just too much ankle on that one and get the lift.
Yeah, save that distance for Saturday.
So we're halfway through this second half, sitting at 0. It's the Bobcats 0, the Pirates 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, and the old guy. Happy to bring you 3C, 2A, Community College Women's Soccer, the playoffs, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Up and out when you make the save. And for every youngster in soccer, one thing your coaches will always tell you, if you can't do anything with the ball, then you take it up and out. You don't put it over the middle. You don't take it straight ahead. You take it up as far as you can and angle it so it goes out of bounds. That makes the opponent restart their attack, and it allows you to bring your defense up to see what they want to do. And you heard somebody yell, handball. There was no handball on that for McKenna Pugh. And I do like the way McKenna brings the ball up. I think sometimes she should hold on to it and take it up just a little further when you watch her. But you've seen players like Holiday and Allen and Arce and McLean and Franco out there, and Biller, Pernot, Pullman and Pugh. McKenna Pugh and her sister Macy Pugh. That was the group that started. And again, the simplest thing in soccer that you can do. Slow the other team down, start it all over, make them throw it in, and then you come up and play a little defense. Nice little flip kick by Hosletter. Olivia, again, up and out. When in doubt, make them start again. Deep throw to the box. Surprised, tried to surprise. There's the turn. Now it's a foot race. Who is faster? And there you look for a little help. So you see Lozano is in the game. Is she going to come out? Well, as soon as I mention her name, Allison Lozano comes out. So Lozano, who was in for a while, is going to come out for your Bobcats. BJ's looking for any sort of magical combination, Mr. Ford, and so far he has not found it.
No, OCC's just a little too quick on the defense. The double teamers block any sort of clear pass. They may have to shoot a little quicker.
Larkin now in the game for Saddleback. Again, they have played the majority of this second half into the OCC offensive zone. But they've yet to come out with a real sniff at the goal. Again, lay the goalie out. If there is a star tonight for this team, it is your Saddleback tender. Corner. And the Pirate fans were excited about that one. Going deep. Off. And it'll be a goal kick.
A little bit off angle on that one.
But those are the type that bother you, Ed, because the other your team has been so aggressive all night. It's that one thing where I'm a half a beat behind because I've been running up and down the field, and you put all the weight on the goalie. And again, I'll take this. Put the pressure on the opponent to make you play a little defense. Run down the field, make sure that they feel like they're always getting attacked. Nicoline Busan in the game. Comes out. Hannah Allen throws that in. That's going to go out. She'll catch it. So what they're going to say is the ball hit. It did not clear the line when Allen, who was basically walking along the line, reached out and caught it.
And a good call by the ref, because that's exactly what happened. It did not, it hit before the line, and she should have let it go.
And again, you watch as the ball rolls into the box. The goalie can pick it up, but you still have to put the pressure on the goalie to make a play. Throw in. Hannah Allen's gonna fling it when she gets a chance. Hannah says, "Okay, let me do this." What? Oop! I dropped that little head fake on everybody. Trying to go deep. She does. Goes back to Allen. Allen gets shoved off the ball. Hannah goes for it, gets shoved off the ball again as one of the players got smacked in the face, and the referee is going to stop it right there. And that was the thing with McKenna Pugh. Got smacked in the face. And if there's any blood coming out, Macy Pugh's sister, you're going to have to send him over to the sideline. So McKenna Pugh comes off the field for your Bobcats. And I don't think she'll be off long when you look how important she is with 18 minutes to go. Then we look at overtime. Then we look at PKs. And overtime is not sudden death. Overtime is overtime. Ali tries to make a sliding tackle. Can't do anything to get the ball away. Slide goes down. And it's a corner for Orange Coast. So Ali goes down, slides for it. Orange Coast comes up with it. And this is when you look at OCC and you look at the top two for their team. Osler, Sanchez, Chantel play a little 2-and-2 game. She brings it in. Ball's kicked out. Nice defensive play. You'll keep your defenders back just for the simple reason you don't want to overrun the ball. And if you are that offensive star, well, maybe you take it in your own control and try to finally do something when you've got 47 points, 16 goals, 15 assists for the season with 16 minutes to go. Here in this second half, 0-0. Somebody who scores right now, it could be a poison pen letter from your best friend. Because Ed, the way they played, I think if somebody gets one on the board, that could be good night, Lucy.
Well, if I could do that Lucille Ball cry, I would right now. But yeah, one goal could do it. The way things are going.
Hannah Allen picks it up, brings it up. We'll see if Hannah's going to throw it in. She'll take it again. You could see that Hannah was trying to get it to Michaela Thriardo. Couldn't do it. There's a drop in the middle. Pugh comes up, makes it. Easy save. You'll take it. 15 minutes to go. 0-0. That has been the name of the game in soccer on men's and women's tonight. Last time these two teams met, it was a 3-2 victory for the Pirates. So it looks like we'll have a substitution for BJ. And yes, do we think that the missing piece from the offensive side of the Bobcats is missed tonight? Yes, it is. 13:40 to go. 0-0. The winner moves on. The loser says, through the tears, yeah, it was a nice season. Attack the defender. Make them drop it off. You need to beat them to the ball. That's what Hannah Allen tries to do. Again, get the foot on the ball. Hannah Allen comes back. Hannah drops it off. Take it back over in the middle. Somebody in yellow has to control it and make the play. Goes back to Hannah. She goes deep. She's going to drop it right there. You need to follow up. Ball comes off the foot of OCC. Turn it. And now Sanchez would like to make an attack. Throws it over to her money mate on the far side of the field. And again, up and out. What a play on the far side. Dropped off the foot and not picked up by the running player, which is a big, big mistake on an attacking end. I'll take it on the far side, right foot. You need to come on in. You need to take it yourself all the way. It's going to be a corner for Cypress. For Saddleback. Didn't I say that? Yeah, so did I. As McLean makes a heck of a run. You know, I'm sure they would have said, yeah, I guess you're right, Mark. We should have taken that corner.
Well, let's see if they can capitalize. They had a good run, but once again, Orange Coast is covering them, and
Orange Coast is playing great defense, Ed.
Just going to either need one more person there that you can pass it to, or you need to shoot it sooner.
In the box. Need a header. Blocked. Ball was on the ground, and it was saved there by Ortega.
Oh, yeah. Ball on the ground, Mark. Nobody there to pick it up.
Sanchez. Chantel goes over across to her running mate and just leads Olivia just a little too far on the play. OCC had a run there. Saddleback missed on a beautiful header with the ball laying on the ground. Once again, middle of the field, who wants it more? That traditional sports statement goes over to Chantel Sanchez. Drops it off. Olivia. She looks back in the middle. Saved again. So the two top stars for the Pirates are now starting to double dip on matching each other with passes. 10 minutes to go. So who are they going to give the ball to? Because that was OCC yelling out. And they're going to give it to Saddleback. Might as well take the shot. 7:50 to go. Looks like overtime is awaiting Albert, Ed, and myself here tonight on SportsNetUSA.net.
I don't think our parking permits are good for overnight parking, though.
And this is why I'll say we're sitting at 0-2. Is every time it looks like Saddleback gets in trouble, defensively they know what to do with it. Substitution for Orange Coast. It looks like their person who can throw the ball in better than anyway. Kennedy Heimer's back on the field. Kennedy comes back in quickly. She'll take this throw in. Watch how deep she can get the ball on a throw in. Looked like a second she had made that perfect throw in. Got to go down. Got to get it deep. Out stays with. They're going to give it to Orange Coast. Linesman's there to make the call. 7:30 to go here on SportsNetUSA.net. At least none of us have to thaw a turkey, so we're okay getting home late tonight. Well, wait a minute. Turkey, muskrat. Albert Robles is saying, wait a minute, there's a holiday this week? When?
Well, you know, there's a lot of pigeons across the street from my house. So.
There we go. When Ed brings us some stuffed squab, don't eat it, Albert. Don't eat it. Bobcats looking for something, and what they're looking for is they've missed. A little grab with the body, nothing called.
Oh, that was a good one.
This time again. Picked up. Nice dribble with the foot, which allows you to maintain where the ball is going. And you can't say Hannah Allen is not playing her heart out tonight's game. Allen goes down with 5:46 to go. Takes Kennedy Heimer with her when they went down. Whistle blown. Sanchez with the kick. Low line driver in the middle. Open upfield, perfect touch. Cross the middle, nobody there in goal. And now it's time for OCC to counter. Ball finally goes out. We're at 4:43 to go and we're sitting at 0. It's the Bobcats 0, the Pirates 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. 3C, 2A, Women's Soccer Playoff here on Sportsnet. And again, you want to see some of the best athletes in the United States, come to the OEC. You want to see soccer players who know what they're doing? Sanchez makes a break, can't come away with it. Sanchez comes out to the right. A little dancing in the middle. Drive the partner to the outside. Make her come high and tight to the left side. Corner kick. Goal kick. 4 minutes exactly. here in the second half of a scoreless duo. Well, it's a duel, not a duo. Well, it is a duo because neither team can score. Header. Nice bicycle kick. Gets a lot of distance on it. Got to be yellow. You've got to come down with it. You've got to make the turn. That's what you do. Now you've got to cross it towards there. Comes up. Who comes away with it? The Pirates. And that's a throw-in for your Bobcats.
Hard to make anything happen when it's 6-on-3, Mark. It just... Orange Coast defense just responds quickly.
Hannah Allen looking for a place to throw it in. Throws it short. She'll take it short. Try to give it to Hannah Allen. It goes out. Throw in. Quick throw in. Off the foot. And that'll go to OCC. And a really quick throw in there by Lexi Evlo. Nice throw in by Lexi. She had it on there. Heimer goes. Ball in the middle. Looks to go up. You need to be summoning goal to come away with it. Drops it off. Taking it on the outside. That went over to Holiday. Holiday needed to just put something up in the air for the team. It's worth the 2-minute mark.
I mean, if you got points for how long you kept the ball in the attacking half of the field, yeah, you'd give the Bobcats the edge, but that's not the way the game's played.
We're at the 2-minute mark. Stoppage time coming up. About 2 minutes exactly. Throw in by Heimer. Ball goes in and goes all the way through.
I can't imagine there'd be much stoppage time. Maybe a little bit with Pugh when she got kicked in the face area.
Yeah.
And went out. But that's 15 seconds, 20 seconds.
Nice trap up in front, and that's what you have to do when you're back there. Make that trapping play for Saddleback. And again, that was McLean who box-to-box player, comes all the way back and go all the way front, makes the save. And we're going to get a whistle with about 45 seconds to go. Matt was looking to go home early. It looks like he'll stick around for another 2 hours. At least it's not raining or snowing. You get to go home in dry weather.
Yeah. Let's go over those positives.
Not missing anything on TV, so you're good. You're watching great community college soccer here at Saddleback. Looking in, crash the box. It is punched out by Orange Coast. And now can they make that run? Because here they come. Heimer has it go off her foot. They go deep to the far side of the field. Looking to go. Chantel Sanchez on the far side. Watch Sanchez work her magic. Player of the year offensively. And it goes off her foot. Saved by your Saddleback Bobcats. Goes back to Sanchez, to her running partner, taken away from her, down the middle, stopped there by OCC. In the middle, looking for that ups, and we're into some sort of stoppage time now here on SportsNet, USA.net.
And really, how could there be any more than a minute, maybe, of stoppage time, if you're being very, very generous? I mean, I think all these stopwatches work the same way. And the way the game's going, Mark, it's going to go into overtime anyway. So let's not stretch out stoppage time just so somebody gets one more run down the field, or each team gets one more run down the field. That's
big throw in the box, left on the ground, up in the air, bouncing around, kicked out. And I thought he was going to blow his whistle when that happened. He looked at his watch. There it is. So that brings us to the end of regulation play here on SportsNetUSA.net as we're sitting at 0-0. So we should go into overtime, and what overtime consists of, we'll see if they'll explain the rules.
Very tight game back and forth. Total shots for the 90 minutes. Saddleback at 15. Orange Coast had 13 shots on goal and 9 apiece. Doesn't get a whole lot tighter than that. Saddleback had 7 corners. Orange Coast had 5.
So they're giving the stats. So we have two 15-minute overtime periods. So if somebody scores 5 goals in the first 15 minutes, we still play the second 15 minutes. It is not, hey, you're up by so much, we're all done. So another 30 minutes of community college soccer here on Sportsnet USA.net. And of course, I didn't get to finish off everybody here, so I might as well do it now. We talked about the All OEC team, and we talked about Marcus Serrano's. Over at other players was Jasmine De La Torre. These are all first-team players. Alexis Green, who had a great season. Gianna Ortenso over at Golden West. They won today. Kirsten Mahon over at Golden West. Ashley Reyna at Irvine Valley. De La Rosa at Fullerton. Peppercorn at Fullerton. And Alexis Chavez at Santa Ana. Second team, McKenna Pugh, Macy Pugh, and Kaya Biller. Second team, along with Danielle Perrott, second team. For Santiago Canyon, it was Jordan Gallegos, Raylene Charis from Santiago, Melanie Salazar from Santiago, Grace Boyce from Orange Coast, Tess Doucette from Orange Coast, Madeline Valdez from Orange Coast, Alyssa Kangas and Naomi Lee, both from Cyprus. Love the way Naomi Lee plays the game of soccer. It's pretty special. Kaylee Gomez of Golden West, Sierra Carter of Golden West, their team has moved on. Nikki McDonald at Irvine Valley, Emily Orozco at Irvine Valley, Layla Barnhart from Fullerton, Cheyenne Rivas at Fullerton, and Elise Zuninga from Santa Ana. Those were your players that were all OEC or second team all OEC, like we said. Karen Pedraza of Santiago Canyon, Defensive Player of the Year, Chantel Sanchez, and of course, Saeed of Saddleback are the co-MVP Players of the Year, with your head coach, BJ McNichol, made Coach of the Year here on the OEC. And that's how it sort of worked out this season for everybody.
And Mark, coming up on Saturday, whoever wins this game will be facing Golden West College. So we'll have to see who wins, but it would be these two teams have the home field advantage over Golden West. Golden West, the 12 seed, Saddleback, the number 1 seed, OCC, the number 8 seed. I hope that's an 8. And then on the other side of the bracket, Santiago Canyon will be hosting. They will play Santa Barbara, it looks like. I'll take that back. No, they beat Santa Barbara. They will play the winner of the Mount Sac Long Beach game, and we do not have a score on that one yet. So we have no idea who's advancing there. But that's what it looks like in the Southern California section. I was going to say in the north, Sierra advances today. They will face San Francisco, and Folsom Lake beat Evergreen Valley, so they take on Santa Rosa. So these are all the men's pairings.
And the thing, like you said, Ed, too,
Excuse me, the women's pairings.
if you're Saddleback, you really want to win this game because the state championships are here at Saddleback College for the women. So whomever gets the opportunity to play in the state championship, it'll be here at this field. And, I think they'll get a huge crowd. Either way this happens, I think the people from up north will come to Southern California, get to see this facility and really appreciate the facility itself and the hospitality you will get as the players come back onto the field. Remember, these are two 15-minute halves. So it doesn't matter what one team does in the first half, it is not over. Then if nobody scores or we're tied, then we end up going to shootouts. And, of course, Ed Ford, Albert Robles, Matt, Corey, and Ryan will be here for a little football this coming Saturday here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Now, I could be right if Corey Nalen is watching, listening. You mentioned the state championship for soccer will be here. That will be on December 6th. But the next weekend is the football championship. And I believe Saddleback is the host school. Not
Unless Golden West
no,
College.
No. I don't think Golden West can play at home.
Oh, okay.
Aren't they switching back and forths again?
I don't know. Corey will have to let us know.
Yeah, let Corey let us know, because I don't think Golden West is a big enough field to host the state championship. I think it's a neutral. The South gets it one year, the North gets it the next year.
Oh, you mean for the actual state championship?
Yeah, for the actual state championship.
Yeah.
I believe this is the facility.
This would be the site. Yeah, I do believe this is the site also. Yes. As we get ready for overtime, two 15-minute halves. And they have a 15-minute, then they take 5 minutes, and that's it. If that ends up in a tie, then we go to a PK, penalty kicks. Albert Robles getting a little chilly. Not food-wise.
Speaking of overtime.
Oh, that's right. Overtime.
Yeah, overtime.
Overtime.
Overtime. Hey, Brad, overtime.
So, in other words, if the game's still going on and you don't hear us.
Now, Corey says the state championship would be at the Southern California champ, which probably is true. But I would think it would have to be at LaBard then. Golden West is too small of a field.
Yeah, they do have the right to tell you can't play at your field because of the facility.
Gee, that sounds vaguely familiar. I don't know when that happened.
So let's go back to a little 3C, 2A, women's soccer, the playoffs here on Sportsnet, USA.net. It's like we're starting all over again, except we're only playing 14:40 to go. Then we go to halftime. Then we play another 15 minutes. So it'll be a throw-in for the Pirates on the far side of the field. The specialist, Kennedy Heimer, will make that deep throw-in. Kicked out. Defense is there where it needs to be. Once again, you look at position, making the play defensively. Up over the top, and again, watch 5'6" become 6'3" right now. And she flips it over at the motion that she has is she flips it up and over. Corey Nalen, it looks like somebody going underneath the basket and flipping it up and over their head. She knows how to palm it. Knocked out by there. Pugh knocks it out. And Ed, there's an energy from Orange Coast. This is where they want to win it. Saddleback wants to turn the field and go up. Ball slows down, goes into the box. Ortega gets it.
Well, here's where I try to say something prolific, and then the opposite happens. Seems like this is going to be decided on a lucky shot.
I don't disagree on that one. Sanchez, middle of the field. Dances, tries to get away, stay in front. She gets that clearing, finds her partner, kick not close. So Sanchez, who set her partner up, the two top scorers for Orange Coast, look to make a couple plays. Here's my problem, though. There's not somebody on the other side that can dance like those two can. Goes out, stays with your Bobcats here on SportsNetUSA.net. And of course, you looked at Holiday, Allen, Arce, McLean, Franco, Biller, Pernat, Pullman trying to make all the plays. Along the way with McKenna Pugh, Macy Pugh, 4. Saddleback. Ortega's been great. Lastra out there, Doucette, Marker, Serratos, Heimer, we've talked about her a lot. Sanchez is another one we've talked about. Valdez, some of the players for Orange Coast in the middle, taken up and out. Gracie Boyce, who's had a good game for Orange Coast tonight. Ruby Flores. So the defensive group gets a lot of love when you look at the way they played. Those are some of the players that have been in this match tonight. They started it off. Everybody thought there'd be 2 or 3 goals because it was 3-2 last time they played. We're sitting at 0.
They used up all their offense last time.
You know what? That
Scored
could be
5
true.
goals. Here we've gone 5 minutes into the first overtime and still no score.
So it goes up and out again, 9:51. 2 15-minute halves in overtime. Then we go to penalty kicks. And that's always penalty kicks. I know that's what they do. I know what soccer people talk about. Well, Mark, you want to go all night long? Yeah, penalty kicks bother me. So I just... because you can have some very good attackers that shoot the ball well when they're not pressured. Up and out, and again.
Yeah, it's the difference between target shooting at, the target that's just standing there, or shooting skeet or trap.
Exactly.
That's moving.
Exactly, Ed. I agree with you. This is where the run, if the ball is 2 feet shorter, it's a perfect play. If it's only 2 feet shorter, but it's not. And of course, this is where you start using everybody out on the field for both these teams.
And as you mentioned, the penalty kick situation, Mark, I'd rather see a sudden death.
Yeah.
OT. I mean, that puts pressure on people to hustle and score.
Yeah.
Or you're gone.
Yeah, I'm with you, Ed. Instead of penalty kicks. Collision in the middle. No foul because both players were looking for the ball. And what happens is they ran into each other. McLean gets up and walks away. Now she goes down to one knee for Saddleback. So Milana, who went head-to-head, now Milana goes down. And they're going to send her to the sideline too, just for the simple reason. Safety first, and that's what you love about community college sports.
Absolutely. The referee decided, hey, you collided, you could have hit your heads. Go to the bench.
So what the referee should do is drop the ball, and then you start to play. Ball goes out. That'll be a throw-in for Orange Coast. 7 minutes to go here in the first overtime period. We've got another one after that, so we'll get like 5 minutes in between, and then we'll go back again. Heimer with a hard arcing one, and then taken out. Nice little bicycle kick to keep it in play. And it goes out off a foot for OCC. Great bicycle kick to keep that one going, and that's by Michaela Thibodeau, who's out there now for your Bobcats. So Thibodeau out playing for your Bobcats. Also out there for the Bobcats was Doherty. Could this be one? Can you get to it? Taken up and out because you weren't going to get there. Ortega was not going to make it. And the two players on the far side of the field yakking at each other. And at this stage of the game, you've got the coaches going, wait a minute, why aren't you saying something? Where's the flag? Why isn't somebody being chastised over there? And if you're Saddleback, you go, wait a minute, you can't get mad at Avery Doherty. She didn't do anything. Collisions happen. Two defenders come down. You force them to go back out and then try and cross it. Off. A Bobcat should be a corner.
Yeah, Mark, collisions do happen, and didn't seem like anything to call there. But then again, maybe it was a collision with some spicy words added during the collision. Then that could get some people upset, if they could be heard by the bench or whatever.
Olivia from the corner into the goal, up and out again. Basically, you look at what Pugh does, and it's cleared again as the pirates are just ready to take the booty from this ship. That's what it looks like. If you've ever seen a pirate movie, they look like they're going to take the king's gold. And yet you've got that one swashbuckler back there in as your goaltender saving the day.
Yeah, just like Errol Flynn or Sinbad or Doug McClure.
Yeah.
Depends on which pirate movie you want it, or Burt Lancaster.
Yeah. Crimson Pirate.
Yeah.
It was on the other night. Stayed up late to watch it. Two players go in.
I guess we have to mention Johnny Depp then, too.
Oh, that's right.
Well, as long as we don't talk about the Lone Ranger.
That's it, yeah.
Well, it seems like now, Mark, that OCC is the one who's had the most time in the attacking zone by far, and taken many more shots.
Well,
than
this
Saddleback has.
Yeah, and Ed, here's the big thing. It comes down to it. If it does come to penalty kicks, you know your two top players are probably going to get two. Who do you have after that? Now, in the case with BJ, his top player's not out there. But you have some if you go up and down Saddleback, you have multiple scorers on the page. McKenna Pugh can get them for you. So now's the point where you start saying, who's the better penalty kicking team? Should we have to win it in overtime? Because if it comes to PKs, we're in trouble. .2:11 to go. It's called against your Bobcats. So, sluggish first half of overtime. The Pirates trying to find something mystical in their scoring. Saddleback looks like Ed brought it up, looks like they're hanging on right now. Throw in. Hannah Allen will take it. We'll see what Hannah can find. Was going to drop it short. And here's the difference. When we talk about Kennedy Heimer, you watch Hannah Allen, not the distance that Heimer could get. Heimer could throw it all the way to 20 if she tried to right now.
Yeah, like we were saying. Yes, she does step on the line, but her technique, that's part of her technique, and she can heave the ball in there, get height on it, or do more of a line drive.
Sanchez on the right. The middle is not touched. One of the best players in women's soccer trying to make it so she can make that right-footed kick. Can't. Heimer. Ball goes off and out for a corner with 25 seconds to go. First mistake by Pugh tonight.
But, they can still recover here. I mean, it's not like it went off her fingers and then into the net.
Corner coming for the Pirates.
So our time is at 0. Oh, this must be stoppage time.
Hosletler up, over. Somebody goes down. Nothing called.
Referee has looked at his watch, and that's it.
And that brings us to the end of the first half of overtime here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we'll take like 5 minutes, and then we come back. If at the end of that time we go to penalty kicks. And, of course, then we see the strategy from the coaches, because who's got what and what can they do with it. And that's what we've got happening the rest of the day. Don't forget this coming weekend, well, more exciting playoff sports here on SportsNetUSA.net. Mount Sac takes on Saddleback this coming Saturday. That's going to be at 1 o'clock here on SportsNetUSA.net. Matt, Ryan, and Corey will be calling the action for you. And those gentlemen have been following, along with Ed Ford and Albert Robles, a lot of 3C 2A football season. And Ed, you've been out here for every Saddleback game this season. It's been, like Ryan said, it started off with what if, then they lost to Fullerton, but then there was something and it just took over and has grown like a wildfire here at Saddleback College.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it's like the year before where they just peaked at the end of the year when they needed to. Of course, they weren't in the playoffs, but they did get a bowl game against Bakersfield, and that was a real big shootout. What was the final score? 47-45, something like that.
Yeah.
47-44. It was a high-scoring offensive game. So we'll see if the Bobcats can come out and continue to play well and just in front of the hometown fans and come out with a victory over Mount Sac. And those Saddleback Mount Sac games that were really big, you can look back and over the years, and there have been some big games because Saddleback College, Mount Sac, and throw in Fullerton College, those were the three dominant teams for decade after decade. Riverside has come into their own lately. I'm not trying to put down Cerritos or Ventura, but the dominant teams were Saddleback, Fullerton, and Mount Sac.
Oh, yeah, you look at the old days when Mark was the head coach here. There was no love lost between him with those two opponents you were talking about. Mr. Nalen and I had some very fun football games to watch. 2013, Mr. Pleasant picks one off by the sideline when they looked like they were going to lose the Saddleback, turns his way up the field, scores. Fullerton gets to play for the state championship against Butte. Corey and I were up in Butte, called that game with everybody's parent who lived in the city that stood next to us. We've seen games down in other areas. Mount Sac magically gets into the playoffs, not because they aren't good enough to be there, but it always just seemed that's one of the teams you look at every year. Oh, is Mount Sac going to make it? Is Mount Sac going to make it? And at the end of the day, they're there. And when you looked at the playoff scenario and you said, Mount Sac, El Camino, Saddleback, you started going through it and you went, who's going to, it was like you figured, however, that Mount Sac was going to find a way to play this game this weekend against Saddleback College, and that's what's happened.
Yeah, if you remember last year, Mount Sac got in there. They went up against Riverside for the championship of the Southern California Football Association. A lot of people thought Riverside was going to run over Mount Sac, and Mount Sac just did what they needed to do and really stymied Riverside, and they made it to the state championship game. Unfortunately for them, they ran into San Mateo that pretty much embarrassed them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily.
A whipping.
Yeah.
And we may see San Mateo once again in the state championship game. Of course, there's some other teams, Modesto and Diablo Valley. I'm forgetting one that are going to be playing. And, Fresno, because Fresno plays San Mateo, and Modesto will be playing Diablo Valley.
Yeah, and let's not forget about what Nick Mitchell has done over at Golden West College this season.
Yeah.
And, Ventura finds their way once again to take on Nick Mitchell. And tell you what, Nick's done an outstanding job again this season here on SportsNetUSA.net. Well, we get ready for Overtime Part 2. It's my multilingual lesson for the night. And then if this is still at 0, we go to penalty kicks. Moving from left to right, that's the Bobcats here on SportsNetUSA.net. Moving from right to left in their powder blue with their fluffy orange numbers, the Pirates from Orange Coast College. See if the energy level steps up. Taking it up the field. Trying to cross it. Steps back. Steps around. Jumps through. In the morning. Skips right into Ortega's hands. Watch this. Don't see the player. It goes. And it skips perfectly into her hands. Hannah Allen on the far side trying to chase it down. Looking to make the turn. Allen from Saddleback gets a throw in from OCC. If this ends in a tie, we go to penalty kicks, and then whoever wins that, they will be playing Golden West College next. Not tonight, but next time soccer schedules the playoff. Crowd has stayed here from both sides. Nice turnout over here. Men's team all the way down on my right side, watching the women play. Over the top. So, excuse me, I was close shot. So if you're OCC, you might be sitting down your people that are going to take their PKs so that they're not. You've got people that are warming up right now that may be a specialist in that vein. Sanchez tries to turn this direction, throws it out to her running mate down here, Olivia Hostler.
Also, Mark, might be a strategy of you keep some of those players out so they have some rest, and then in the last 3-4 minutes of this period, they go full throttle.
Yeah.
Because if you score in the next, with the only 2 or 3 minutes left, that's probably going to be the game. And then you avoid that penalty kick situation.
Yeah.
Neither team wants that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ed. If somebody were to get a goal in here, the game is over. And it's either team that does that. Get a little muscle going on. Everybody starts to chant out there. You see Allison Lozano. Ball goes off the foot. So Lozano out there playing a little physical. And you can see the physicality, Ed, at the last second. Am I going to intimidate you as a player? You can hear somebody's parents saying, come on, ladies, let's do it now. If we're going to do it, let's do it now. Trying to get the ball into Doherty, who's out there. Well, you throw it in a little tough and a little hard, and Pullman just has it ricochet right back to her, thinking that her partner out there was going to trap it, control it, and then bring it up. 10 minutes to go before PKs. Trap everybody. It's good. It's going to be a Saddleback throw-in. Arce tries to get it in. Gets to Sanchez. Sanchez and a running mate. Go over. Running mate takes the middle. Push her out. Give her a little body. They both go down. Nothing is called. Beautiful trap on the other side. Make sure you keep it. They keep it and goes back to Orange Coast College. It's back and forth. Who's going to make that first slip or that first move to keep the ball with your team and give it an opportunity? 9:32 to go on an exciting women's community college soccer game here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So, Ed, one of the top players from OCC goes limping off the field, who you would expect easily to be out there for the penalty kick, and that was Olivia Hostetler. She gets limped on, as it looks like she probably went hip to hip, and I'm sure she'll come back on the field if they have PKs. But she is now sitting, so that means you take one of the top scorers off the field for this Orange Coast College team. Again, up and out. 8:32.
Orange Coast is just there every time, Mark, for some of those long kicks. They position themselves properly to disrupt what the Bobcats were planning.
Yeah, you look at Orange Coast this season, 15-5-3 overall. 16-2-3 was Saddleback. There's not that much diversity in those numbers when you look at them. Got to stop somebody when they're coming up. You can't let them take the ball all the way down to the 20 and then hopefully drive them back out. You can hear the benches yelling at the official because it's gotten quite more physical on the field. Up the middle. Grab it, turn it. Should be a saved by there, and it's just amazing. I thought it was going to go out. Saved by OCC and Saddleback, and now you're playing the long ball. It's 1-on-3. You've got to have that slickness to yourself when you're going down the field. You're going to get a foul right there. A little physicality by the women, and I don't know if it's frustration now, Ed, or what, but it's become much more physical.
Well, obvious foul. You push the player, they go 3 to 4 yards in the other direction. Yeah, you're going to get called on that one.
And again, watch the fundamentals. Nobody picks up the offense player. Ball left behind her. You've got to have the fundamentals there. Heimer puts it in the middle of the field. Dancing with the ball, trying to get down low. Somebody looking to turn, maybe thread a pass through. But you walk them back out defensively to the corners. Took Sanchez all the way to the end. And that should be a corner for OCC.
And we are under 6 minutes of the second overtime. For OCC, they need to get one in there to where somebody can get ahead on the ball or knock it down and kick it in.
Sanchez has been out there the entire game tonight, and you can watch her. She sort of runs like I do. Back part of the goal. Got to head it out. Close. Punched out for a second. Ball got away. Looked like OCC had a chance. Pugh got her hand on it again. This is where you've got to make that initial run, and you don't when you're Saddleback. I'm giving it to the Pirates. They are playing a heck of a game this night.
Absolutely, Mark.
And of
They-
course, go
I was
ahead.
just going to say, they figure, hey, we beat Saddleback once, we can do it again.
And when I talked about the star player being out, Olivia Hostler, she's back in. So they've got their two gunners on the field. Take it up and out. We're at the 4-minute mark.
Yeah, you put your gunners in. They're rested now for OCC. There's just about 4.5 minutes left. They go full all-out bore.
Kenny Heimer throws a huge throw in, headed out by Saddleback.
And that was a huge throw-in, Mark. I mean, look how far she tossed that.
Corner coming by Olivia. Brings it in the middle. It's down on the ground. Kicked out. Back post protected. Three minutes to go. Everybody's looking and saying, you throw it in. Nah, you throw it in. Nah, you throw it in. Tess Doucette finally goes over and says, I'll throw it in. Doucette gives it up. The Heimer wipes it off. Doucette goes to the middle of the field for Orange Coast. Sanchez back deep. Picked up there by the tender. And we're at 3 minutes to go. In regulation and in overtime, it looks like we're getting closer and closer to PKs. May a throw in 4.
Some of the fans complaining about some of the pushing, but yeah, it's been going on all night long, but it's not to the point of where it's a foul most of the time.
Yeah. Morgan Pullman gets ready for the throw in. Morgan throws it in. Down the sideline. You see Pullman gives it a kick. Just a little too far. Nobody's coming up with it. Headed. It's going to be a throw-in for the Saddlebacks in the offensive end. Ed, I know they're playing defensive, but I don't know. I'd start moving people up. I'd take a chance right about here. 4 back on the defense.
Yeah, Orange Coast defense is just not giving the Bobcats a lot of opportunities to thread some passes through players.
Ball's up. Bouncing around. Who comes down with it? Little easy bouncer and a one hopper, and no problem for Samantha Ortega to pull that one in. We're at 1 minute.
Up and out.
And that's the one thing I'll give them a lot of credit for. They played solid defense.
I think there might be some stoppage time. We've got down to about 33 seconds left.
Yeah.
Of course, the ref's watch works a little different than ours.
Yeah, and they were going with a substitution, so that's why they waited. Oh boy. Talk about something that looked like a dive from over here.
Oh, come on.
You know. And I don't mean a dive up in Victorville. I mean a dive down here in Orange County. Deep kick into the box on the ground. There's a foul as a Bobcat gets leveled. So even if that goes in, that's not going to count. And it looks like we're going to go to PKs. Unless this guy's got a watch that doesn't work. Albert's checking it out. He's got his watch on there. Ed Ford's looking at it. And realize PKs will determine after 120 minutes who may move on. One last run. And that's it. So overtime ends. And the goalies get ready. This is where you're a hero or you're a GOAT. And I don't mean greatest of all time at the end of it. I've listened to professional players, Ed Ford, that have said PKs are nothing but luck. The saves by goalies are nothing but luck. You know, and goalies have said, no, it takes skill. So we'll see what happens here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, Ed brought it up. It's been nothing but PKs all day long here at this stage. And that just shows you the quality of soccer for everybody playing, that the ratings were right. The top teams played. Cyprus loses 1-0. You see a lot of 1-0 games going on, or games going to penalty kicks. And that's because the cream rises to the top, and when it does, all said and done, all these teams could easily move on from the men's side or the women's side here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Santiago Canyon, we still don't know. We'll see what happens there.
No, we know what happened there.
Oh, Santiago Canyon did move on. That's right.
Right. It's the
Long Beach.
Long Beach Mount Sac game. We don't have anything on.
And see, I don't know if the rule is for community soccer. It used to be the rule was in soccer that the people who are going to be doing the PKs had to be on the field when the final whistle blew. I don't know if that is true. There. So Mount Sac now has, from Corey Nalen, 100 state titles as an athletic program. One state title every year since 1995. And just to let you know, he says once again, he wants to reiterate it. State championship would be at the SoCal championship site, not necessarily the college, but the SoCal championship site. Now, I'm not sure what's the SoCal championship site. Here? I don't know.
Well, we haven't been over to Golden West for a little while, but unless they're going to do like that one year where they rented those huge stands and a press box and photographer's thing on top. I mean, the field they normally play in doesn't have a press box.
That's true.
Doesn't have lights.
No, but you can put somebody in that. What is it? Easy Up that they use over there? It's about as high as the.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, put you up there with a microphone.
I think it's going to be at a facility that is up to the level of having a press box and things like that. Because normally you don't have games where
So we'll see if we're going to go up to some other school here on Sportsnet. So let you finish, Ed. I know you got pulled away for a second.
you must think I know what I was saying before. No, the penalty kicks will be on the side with the large scoreboard.
Okay. So we're going to have a great shot of that one, right?
But as I was saying on the football situation, I can't see them having, unless they've done a whole lot to that field.
They haven't.
So
No.
They're not going to play there. No. There's always, you have two big-time facilities now that are new, Mount Sacs and this one. So those are the candidates. Of course, Long Beach is going to rebuild the vet at some point in time.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And I've heard that, now it's called Falcon Field, but at one time called, and probably still is, the official name, I believe, is Norwalk District Stadium. There was rumors of that being redone. If they do rebuild that field, then I believe they should have the three of us, along with Corey Nayland and Ryan Osborne, all be on the committee, so we can all say, hey, if you don't put in an elevator.
Exactly. And could you have more than one power outlet? Because we really don't want to be using power strips up here. So the teams will walk to the center of the field. And if you see them, it is that group that might have been out there when it came to an end. So it looks like Sanchez will start things off. And the goalie must keep their feet on the line. They can't leave the line before the player strikes the ball. So Sanchez goes out there, the MVP of the OEC. These will determine the winner of this game. Blocked on the first one. Macy Pugh knocks down the first one. And Allen now comes out. Oh, it's McKenna Pugh. So McKenna Pugh comes in here. Sister came up. So both tenders come up big. Next will be Olivia. Hostetler comes up there. 47 points on the season. Think she's going to go high. She misses the goal completely.
You know, they're taking this 0-0 thing pretty, is this going to turn into the Dodger 18-inning World Series game?
There's Hannah Allen. She hits the post going high. Nobody on the board.
Shooting for the Pirates, Kinsey Marple.
There's the first one.
Marple makes it, give the Pirates a 1-0 lead. For the Cats, it's 19, Cheyenne Embry.
This will be huge if she makes it. Well, somebody in the gold's got to make one.
Shooting for the Cats, Morgan Plum. Plum puts it in, but it's one piece coming to the foot.
So we're tied at 1 PK each.
Hard to see the numbers down there, but it looks like Tess Doucette taking the shot for Orange Coast.
Gotta make this.
Even at 2 apiece.
Tied at 2. Pugh makes the save. So Macy Pugh comes out. Look at that, going to her right. She guesses through.
Holiday for the Cats.
Holiday won it last week. That's it. Saddleback moves on PKs. Holiday did it last week. She did it again this week at Ford. They move on to the next level.
Both teams, outrageously great soccer game. Congrats to both teams.
So your ladies from Saddleback College will be playing Golden West College. We will find out when the day and time is, and hopefully we will be here from Sportsnet USA.net as the women come away winning on PKs 3-2, and it was once again the lady that helped win last week, Miss Aurelia Holiday, who comes up with the biggest kick of her life here on Sportsnet USA.net. For Albert Robles, for Ed Ford, and for the old guy that got to see an exciting move by Saddleback, you have been watching Saddleback Soccer, Orange Coast Soccer, 3C, 2A, Community College Soccer, Women's Playoffs here on Sportsnet USA.net.